child. Hey, B. It's JamiThatsMe here. Listen, I wanted to come talk to y'all real quick about Tia. Y'all know Tia got her new show coming? Yeah, Tia from Tia and Tamera. Sister, my girls, listen. I used to love them girls down. Y'all know my favorite episode? It's like two of them. The first one, let's get into it, okay? Was when they found out that they actually had a twin at the store and stuff. That girl has my face. Girl. That was one of my favorite episodes. My other favorite episode was when Tia caught Tyreek kissing Diavion, baby. Okay, Diavion had to let Tia know, like, girl, you're not mad that you're not mad because you think I like Tyreek, but you mad because you still do. Okay, it's this game you keep playing. One day you like him, the next you don't. One day you're into him, the next you're over him. Okay, you're not mad that you think I like Tyreek, but you mad that you still do. Period. Okay. And then you had Tamera, and what's his name? Jordan was over there trying to get cable for the fight night, and they was up there on the motherfucking roof, girl, trying to figure out how to get that cable, get that illegal cable so they could go ahead and watch the fight night or whatever, child. Oh my God. And then when Tamera climbed all the way up to the top, she left the damn coax cable on the ground or something like that. And he was like, now where's the cable or something? She says on the ground or whatever. He's like, stay right there. I'm gonna go down there and get it. She said, I'm on the roof. Where the hell am I going? Then Lisa had to come up and say today when Jordan almost fell his ass off the roof while Tamara was up there not helping him. Okay, what's her name? Lisa came up on the roof and she was like, everybody know you. She said, I don't believe you too. Everybody know you can't bootleg cable without this. And she had a drill. Boy, hand me that coax. Boy, hand me that coax. Okay, I was here for it, girl. That's like my favorite. One of my that I think that episode like tops a lot. Like that's my favorite. But bitch, when it first came on, like the moment I knew I'm gonna have to start recording this show because I love it so much. I was so fascinated by them being like twins. Okay. I didn't see that a whole lot. So you know what I'm saying? But I loved it when they found out that they were like they had a twin. I think that could have been like the very first episode when they realized that they had a twin. And that man thought that the other one was in there, like I guess, like I don't think he thought she was stealing, but she kept asking him questions, but she wasn't buying nothing or whatever. So it was a whole lot. And Lisa almost beat his ass on the first episode. Girl, loved me some sister, bitch. I had to go on here to record that, pull out the VHS, go on right sister on that bitch, so I knew exactly what it was. Girl, them was my girls. Oh man, y'all, like back in the day we really had some good ass TV. We had some good TV. Now they throwing it us at us in so many different ways that TV just ain't as good as it used to be. We don't have time to really watch TV, and maybe it's because we're older. But then also majority of television now is reality TV. You feel me? We had Boy Meets World, and I believe Boy Meets World used to come on either right before or right after Sister. I was here for it. And then they also had Full House. I used to get into Full House. That was good. Like, child, that right there. Them was my shows on ABC. Why did we have to grow up? Why did y'all have to change SHI? Okay, but anywho, girl, getting back to the sisters and the real reason we here. Tia Mowry is bringing her show to WeTV, and I'm looking forward to checking it out and seeing what Miss Tia got going on over there. Okay, looks like we're gonna get a chance to see her dating and stuff. But before we can really get into her dating and what's happening in her life, we have to primarily talk about what was happening in her life, okay? And that is the divorce, okay? The divorce with her husband, what's his name? Corey Hardrick, okay? Y'all have seen him in some of your films. The most recent one that I've seen was Divorce in the Black with Megan Good. He played in that. He's been booking some other roles as well. He's also been on All American Homecoming, the HBCU version. Yeah, so he's been over here, booking his opportunities and stuff. So, still making it work despite the fact that, she filed for a divorce from him. Now, the last thing I recall about him on how they met, I believe they said they were headed to like set or they were headed somewhere one day. And I think they saw him like standing like on the curb or something like that. And that's how they ended up like, having some interaction. And from that moment, they ended up being like really good friends. So they've been friends, it seems, since they were like, what, kids or something, like late teenager years or something. And it developed into more of a relationship. And she's been with him ever since. Okay. Um, Yeah, so they end up getting married at some point. They have two children, and she talks about how she's been really sad because she's always wanted her kids to have that two-parent household. Because I believe her parents gave her and her siblings that for a good a bit of their life before their parents eventually got a divorce later on in life. I feel like her parents could have been married for like 40 years or something before they got a divorce, but they were married for a good bit of time from my understanding. So I understand her wanting to give them that and it just not necessarily working out. Like we'll see where she's gonna be taking her daughter off to school, and I do want to show a clip, and hopefully, girl, they don't flag me, child. I pray they don't. Okay. If you can't see it, it's because girl, they about flagged you, girl. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and check it out. Matter of fact, let me get my headphones on so we could just hear a little piece of what Miss Tia has to say. Here. So let me go ahead and get whoopie boop boop. And let's just see how this intro goes. Now, keep in mind, this is just a snippet of her show. They did have an extended version where it was like 7 minutes long, where you could see more. She said that her son didn't want to be on the show, so we're primarily going to see her daughter. And then she also goes on to go to set. She was calling a friend, talking about how she was having a hard day, and that's where she talked more about the different rumors and different things that are out there about her and Corey. But let's check out this snippet where she talks about her and her sister not being as close as they were, and then she also kind of touches on the husband too.
Head, putting it out there. Who does that?
All right, y'all. So that's what we got to see of Miss Tia. Now, of course, she talks about that husband and how, things ain't work out. Now, what really stood out to me was the conversation she was having with her good old friend. And when she was talking to her friend mentioned that they don't know what you've been through or what you've been dealing with for years. And I'm like, ah. Now I'm not gonna try and speculate, but I do wonder, like, what exactly does that mean? Seems like she had been. When I hear that, what I hear is she's been thinking about divorcing this man for a long time, and he's put her through a lot. But I don't know, like exactly what that is. We haven't heard a lot about Corey and Tia to really know what the basis of the divorce was. We don't know if he could have been controlling, not controlling. Maybe they just grew apart. The things that she was interested in, he was never interested in. Maybe her grind and hustle is different because she may get opportunities more easily because of the work that was put in since she was a child. Whereas with him, his grind is much different. It could be a lot of different things as to why they're not together, but primarily what people took from the conversation overall or the clip was her saying that she and her sister are not as close to each other. Now, let me say this. I don't know where they are today. Today, they could potentially be close. I'm not sure. I don't know where they is today. Okay. From what it sounds like, it seems like this could have potentially been filmed, maybe some of it last year, maybe it was filmed earlier this year. I cannot recall the time that Corey and Tia's awkward hug. Let me look that up on the red carpet. That's what I want to see. When did that happen? Because was that this year? Okay, so that was in March of this year when they had that awkward moment. So I mean, maybe her and her sister are still on the outs. Maybe they aren't in a good place right now. I believe that Tamera was interviewed on the red carpet, and when she was interviewed, let me make sure I have that because I think I bookmarked it. When she was on the red carpet, she spoke on her sister having a show. Okay, so I do want to get into that real quick. So let us play this. Okay, let me tap over here so we can get into it and see what the sister had to say. All right, so let's flip back. Okay, this is what Tamera had to say when asked about her sister, and I do believe that this was because I went over to their TikTok page, and this was earlier this year. So it probably was around the same time that they had that awkward red carpet moment. But I just want to make sure I have the timestamp on it because I think I saved it over on the Twitter. Let's see. Not the Twitter, but the TikTok. Okay. I don't think I have it right in front of me. Okay, I don't. It's okay. But it happened earlier this year around the springtime. So let's listen to what Tamera had to say.
Tia is living her life right now, and Tia is doing Tia.
Tia's returning to reality TV.
I know. I didn't know until I found out with the rest of the world.
Any chance we'll see you on there?
She didn't ask me. So I take that as no. She's like, this is my story, and I can only respect that.
Are you and Adam trying to set her up on any dates or anything? Are you guys playing Cupid at all?
I feel like she doesn't want any of our input right now. And I can only respect that. So I think she is doing her.
You know her better than anybody, so you'd be like, I'm not going.
So I'm respecting that. Tia is living her life
I feel like that's all Tamera can do is respect that space. I question if Tia... I don't know. Y'all wasn't there, but I do have questions like everybody else. And one of my questions is, did Tamera likely not offer you the support that you felt you needed at the time that you were getting a divorce? Or did you guys happen to fall out prior to that divorce? Maybe y'all weren't talking prior to that. And maybe that got a lot to do with it. I don't know. I also feel like I question this too. Tamera is crazy about Adam, and it still shows to this day. And I'm like, maybe sometimes when Tia shares things with you, she don't want Adam to know. Is it times that she may share stuff with you and then you turn around and you let Adam know what the hell going on? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Possibly. I mean, that is like her best friend. She is infatuated with him. And matter of fact, I do want to play a little piece of a clip from when she was talking about Adam and her being obsessed with him, child.
I want to hear from right here.
You addicted to your children, girl.
No, she addicted to Adam.
And her children. Like,
I'm
we all out
addicted.
having a girls' night.
Oh, that is true.
Oh no. Am I that bad?
Yes.
Come on.
I want to wait till we go around the table about you.
Oh no.
I ain't got nothing to say, friend. Go ahead, Jeannie. Get your life.
I just noticed,
What?
friend.
What?
Oh, don't get sensitive. Just let her.
Yeah,
let her
I'm
talk.
saying this out of love, friend.
Okay, but I'm going to receive it.
When it comes to being addicted to your lover, in which this case there's even a French saying for it, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
People are like that. I do
Yes.
believe that you are addicted to Adam because
Okay.
I've never seen you at a party or somewhere away from him where you won't check your phone, mention something about him, or go scrolling through your family pictures without him there.
That is-
Always, all the time, 24/8. That's what you do.
She said 8.
That is very true.
Always.
You miss him. I think you do it subconsciously.
Yes.
You miss your kids. You'll look at photos and you'll turn. You said it, but I think
No, it is.
all-
That is
turning
that
and
is
saying,
true.
I
Let me
miss
ask
my
you,
miss my
children.
Are you
children. I miss
addicted to your husband?
Well, I would have to say yes now. Jeez.
Girl, that lady crazy about that man. I don't think too much has changed till this day. And I'm not even going to judge her. That's her husband, girl. Be as crazy about him as you want to. But maybe your sister wasn't as crazy about him. Like, I don't know. But I do question it. Like, at times when she would share stuff with you, would you share it with him and she wasn't ready for you to share it with him? Would you guys give unwanted advice and things like that? I'm not really sure. Or could it have been that maybe y'all are not, as close as you were because Tia has been selfish, possibly. Let me see if I could get the clip on that where she has shown her selfishness a bit, and this is a flashback to when Tamera had to call her out. Okay, just a little bit.
Right? I'm gonna think about it for a second. Why do you need to think about it? Because sometimes you're selfish. You are crying. How am I selfish? Because you just don't get it. You don't get it right now. So you're this upset about it. The fact that I have to explain to you why I was upset because you were late. You're saying that I'm selfish. Yes. The thing is you don't care. You think about yourself. How am I thinking about myself?
So obviously Tamera's upset with Tia for coming late, and Tia don't see it as a big deal. And she like, girl, you selfish. Like, girl, I'll be mad too. Like, bitch, don't be wasting my time. Like, I ain't got nothing else to do but to sit here with your ass, girl. That is giving selfish energy, bitch. If I give you a time to show up and you show up 30 minutes or an hour later, however long, girl, like, don't do that because I ain't gonna do that to you either. I don't play like that, okay? I mean, was it that you were being a little selfish, or maybe you were just sensitive going through a divorce? I'm sure it's rough, and you just were possibly in a sensitive spot, I do question that, like, what is going on with the sisters, either way, Tamera is saying that she's choosing to respect the space that Tia is in at this time. She don't really want their advice. She ain't really trying to with them. So I don't know, guys. But what I do find interesting when I heard the selfish portion, and I ain't trying to be messy, girl. I'm just saying, okay? I don't know the true ins and outs, okay, of the sisters, all right? But what I will say is, I remember a time when Tia and Tamera announced something on the same day. So I'm like, were y'all trying to beat each other out? Or what? First of all, I'm on Tia's page, but let's go back to Tamera. So on October 4th of 2022, Tamera's book dropped. Okay, her memoir. You should sit down for this. I forgot what the name of it was, but she said that it was available and she dropped it, and that was the day she was doing a book signing and everything. Okay, that's the memoir that she had, and she put that announcement out on the 4th. And then Miss Tia said, well, I got my own announcement at the same time. Bitch, I understand that y'all over there supporting my sister book and shit. But listen, bitch, I'm done, okay? And that's when she made the announcement that she's always been honest with her fans, and today is no different. I wanted to share that Corey and I have decided to go our separate ways. These decisions are never easy and not without sadness. We will maintain a friendship as we co-parent our beautiful children. I am grateful for all the happy times that we had together and want to thank my friends, family, and fans for your love and support as we start this new chapter moving forward in our lives, okay? Now, maybe at the time, Tia wasn't really thinking because she got so many emotions, and that could be why she ended up posting on the same day, as her sister, possibly. But then I could understand when I go back and look at her sister saying, oh, you're selfish. Her sister could potentially be like, you didn't even have to post it on that day. It wasn't like it was some news that needed to be reported at that time, that really was between you guys getting a divorce. So you didn't have to post on that exact day. So I don't know what could have caused any friction with them, but I just thought that was interesting. And seeing the flashbacks of her saying that her sister's selfish, I think we all can be selfish at different times. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to our siblings, we can, okay? We're not going to always get it right, so it is what it is, okay? But I thought that was interesting. And then I also think about the dynamic of the audience. I feel like we as the audience and the viewers and the fans can play a major role as well when we kind of slick. I ain't gonna say we. I just be looking, girl. I don't be coming up with the scenarios. But the people like to identify one twin as the black twin and the other twin as the white twin. And it's not always fun for Miss Tamera, okay? On top of the husband that she has, he has definitely been called out for different things that he may have said. And they've gotten on his ass as well as hers when it came down to, some things. And I believe they've even went as far as to label him as a racist, But when it comes to Tamera and Tia, y'all have said some things to kind of hurt her feelings, and maybe that was a struggle for them to also navigate through too.
I never actually told you guys this. Being a twin, people compare, and they compare a lot by default. It's not their fault, but sometimes they see two people and they either say, oh, she's the sexy one or she's the cute one. Well, I was known as the goofy cute one. And I used to read our fan mail all the time. And that's what I used to get all the time when I was 16 years old. And I kept it. Are y'all crying out too? Jesus.
Yes, I can.
Okay, well, I kept it. So going to college, I carried that. I was like, oh, the goofy, like cute one. I'm not the sexy one. And guys would literally go, oh, you're so goofy, you're so goofy. And I always thought it was a negative term, because all I wanted to be was sexy.
Well, if I liked women, you would be mine.
I can't. I can't. And to hear Tamera say that and knowing everything that she went through, receiving letters and stuff as a kid, and then it go from her being the goofy twin to as she get older, hearing that she's the white one and then her sister is the black one and all of that, and then she's the one with the white husband and all of that. Like, it's a lot. I'm sure Miss Tamera has done a lot. So I do question whether or not that has spilled over into creating friction within the sisterhood of the sisters, based on what outsiders are saying, not so much as what they are saying about each other. Like, who knows? But there is a person over on Twitter, and I really like how she kind of like went into detail and broke down some things. Even makes me want to like go back and check out, later or I'm sorry, earlier episodes of Tia and Tamera. So let's go ahead and get into what she says, okay? So she says, I noticed a few things from Tia and Tamera from a Tia Tamera show on Style Network. One, Tamera spent a lot of time complaining to others about Tia and scapegoating her. She turned everything Tia said into an opportunity to be a victim. Listen, I'm not going to hold y'all. When I used to watch it, I used to be like, Tamera complains all the time. Tamera is annoying at times, okay? I used to be kind of surprised because I never expected that to come from her, So I definitely see their point because she showed up like that at times. I mean, it did give off that Tamera was a bit of the nagging twin, just a little, whereas Tia was a bit more laid back, okay, just a piece, all right? She goes on to say they communicate very differently, which caused friction. I believe this 1000%. As we just saw, Tamera was upset that Tia was late, but then Tia's not seeing an issue with it at all. Yeah, that girl, we got a communication issue, girl. Okay, I don't see how you don't understand that's a problem. All right, let's keep going. Tia often expected Tamera to drop everything for her when she had a need. Tamera struggled severely with boundaries. I believe this. Tamera and her husband often spoke about Tia in a critical way, yet Tia and Corey rarely spoke about Tamera and never in a bad way. Now, when I hear this, I believe that, and it also brings up the question for me when I asked earlier, like, I wonder if at times when Tia would share things with Tamera, would Tamera share it with, her husband, Adam, when Tia may not have wanted that, or maybe at a time when she knows she wants this divorce, maybe the family, wasn't in full support of her getting this divorce, and maybe they made her feel away and were probably being overly critical. Like, I remember a time that Tamera was on The Real, and she talked about when she broke up with Adam, and she said that everybody in her family was on Adam's side. And they asked her, like, well, why did you break up with him? She said, well, we were together for about 3 years, and I didn't want to be the nagging girlfriend because I wanted I wanted a full commitment. I wanted to be married. And he wasn't confirming that's the direction that we were going to go into. So why am I doing this? And I'm with Tamera. Like, girl, like, why am I wasting my time? And it's like shocking for the whole family to be like, just go along to get along. Like, girl, you're crazy. Like, everybody, according to Tamera, made it seem like she was wrong for wanting to step away from a relationship when it's not progressing in the direction that she wants it to progress in. So now when I hear that and I think back to that, I'm thinking about Tia. Maybe for her, that marriage was not making her feel satisfied. It wasn't going in the direction that she wanted it to go in. Maybe she had certain expectations that were not being met and she wanted to opt out. And it's possible that the family, whether it could, because it could be that maybe Tamera's not, maybe Tia isn't just not talking to Tamera, but maybe she's not talking to some other siblings too, possibly, because they weren't in support. And this is not a fact. This is merely my opinion, and this is merely my thoughts, like everybody else's thoughts on social media, just wondering, like, well, dang, what could have went wrong with the sisters, right? So maybe it could have been a situation like that where everybody else was supporting, Corey, probably more than Tia's decision to actually step away, because maybe they saw him as a decent guy and a great dad to the kids, and you have this marriage and keep it going, and you got a 2-parent household and stuff, and she's probably like, yeah, but I'm not feeling fulfilled. So it could be anything, and maybe that's the reason that she fell back. And it could be that she didn't just fall back from her sister. She could have fell back from a few people, okay? But let's keep going. And I feel like also it doesn't have to be a super bad thing, right? When you fall back, like, I just give me some time. I will come back around. Like, we gonna talk, girl. We just not talking right now. So I don't know, but I don't know how long they went on not talking. Okay. But you know what? I feel like shit. If I could be honest, I appreciate these sisters keeping it more real than how I feel the Braxtons have kept the shit real. Okay, they coming back. This is what Tracy would have wanted. Tracy this, Tracy that. Tracy everything, Tracy everything. Like the way, like girl, the way Tamera stood her ass on this carpet, it was like, girl, she asked me to be on that show. It's like I ain't know shit. I found out when y'all found out about it. Okay, it wasn't no faking about it. She said it really nicely. She kept it honest, and she wasn't disrespectful. I appreciate that. Well, I don't think she want our advice at this time. Miss Give it like, bitch, I'm doing me. Fuck you up. So okay, okay, that was Tamera ain't lie. She was being honest. I appreciate that. Okay, thank y'all for keeping it a buck and not faking the funk. Okay. What else she goes on to say? She says, Tamera was extremely passive and struggled struggled to communicate openly. She struggled to speak up in the most mundane moments and vilified Tia for advocating for herself, a common trait of non-confrontational people. 1000%. And I really feel like Tamera admitted that she was not like a confrontational person. Okay, I believe this is her all the way up and down, and honestly, it's true to her character as she's played on Sister. That's how she showed up as, you know. But one time she did slick check Jenny Mike. It's okay when they were talking about, I think, Bert and Ernie or something like that, the Sesame Street characters that I guess were supposed to be gay or roommates or whatever it was. She slick was like, okay. Tamera was ready to get into some things. I said, oh, okay, yeah, she about tired of you, bitch. So anywho, they go on to say they stayed in therapy trying to figure this out. Okay, so if you've been watching earlier seasons, you would know that they've been to therapy trying to figure out ways to better communicate as sisters. So this just sounds like a common thing that they do. They be up and down with their communication, up and down, and maybe she finally got. That's why she probably said, "I have a choice." Maybe she grew up. So much so, girl, I don't know. It's making me think a little piece about the Braxtons when they had, how they always had to be locked in and be sisters before everything and all this other stuff or whatever. Maybe that's how Tia and Tamera came up. Like they always got to have each other back. They always got to deal with each other, support each other, regardless the BS. That's my sister. That's my sister. But that's my sister. But that's my sister. And I got to still show up and whatever. I don't know. And maybe now she's getting older and realizing I got a choice in this. Like, just because that person is my loved one and I love them, doesn't mean that I have to subject myself to certain actions or certain things that doesn't make me feel good. So how about I take a step back? And maybe that's why she cried, because she's realizing I have a choice. I don't just have to be in spaces because that's a family member or that's my exact twin, my identical twin, or my whatever, It could be, yeah. So maybe she just like, hey, I don't got to do that. I don't got to do that. I don't have to suffer for other people, in a sense. And maybe that's another reason why she cried. If I'm suffering in this marriage, I don't feel like I have to do this because this is what my kids need, And maybe she realized like, nah, they deserve two healthy parents versus two parents that are in not such of a great place. So if that means that we have to divorce and separate to give them the best, then that just may be what we have to do. So I'm starting to understand the reason why she was like, she got a choice now. Like, I didn't know I had this before, but now I'm learning as I get older that I actually have a choice. So there's that. She says, Adam and Tia seem to have a very distant relationship, yet Corey and Tamera were very close. I believe this. It's something, I don't know Adam, and you can tell that Tamera loves him, and he apparently loves her. They have a great family dynamic from what we see on social media. But I can understand if they met and Tia was a bit standoffish, like, I don't know yet. I mean, he cool, but as some of he say, I don't know, girl, like Tracy was with Tawanda's man. Okay, maybe not the exact way, but some of you may have had a little vibe. So they were very close, okay? Corey and Tamera. She says Adam seemed to create a lot of distance between Tamera and her family. She often prioritized his family on the show. Because I remember like his family had like a restaurant or something like that I think became hers once they got married, or they were working on it together. He has one, and I really just started seeing more of his family. It was more of Tamera, their child or children. I don't know if she had a daughter by then, maybe she did, but their beautiful home, him, his parents, or whatever he got going on. I really didn't see a whole lot of interaction on her, with the other side of the family, So, yeah, this is true. Tia focused on work. True. Okay, I think. And see, here's the thing, too, y'all. In my opinion, these are all my. We just having a conversation, girl. Let's not think. Don't go too deep on me, girl. We just talking. I also wonder with Tia working so much, was Corey not where she was financially, which I would think not. Did she feel that she had to work to make sure the family maintained everything that they had, whereas Tamera had this Caucasian man who already had some things established as far as the family. He was also he was on the meteorologist or something like that, or either he was an anchor or something. He worked with the news, right, at one point. So he had income, and already his family was already doing decent. So maybe she doesn't have to go as hard as Tia, which is why Tia just often worked a lot. Like, I don't know. All right. She goes on to say, Tia not only went after jobs, but she created them. She created jobs. Hell, this show is one of them. I feel like she created this. Like, let's get back out there. I'm free of my divorce. I want to get out here and start dating. I do a lot of stuff on social media. People ask me a lot of questions. They want to be in my life. So how about I give them that? Let's do that. Let's do a reality show. Let's get a check behind it, okay? Because if I'm going to do this, I'm going to get a bigger check than what these social media people is paying me. Love it, okay? She says she is extremely ambitious, but Tamera gave her a lot of flack for working too much, okay? Tia could be very inconsiderate. All right. And maybe she was inconsiderate because her hustle was different over in her household, possibly. Okay. Or maybe she was inconsiderate, like, because that's just who she is. She's become and I feel like that's kind of true to Tia's character on the damn show. Like, they really wrote these characters true to who they were as teenagers. For real. Okay. Because to show up late and your sister telling you that's a problem and you brushing it off like it ain't that big of a deal, I feel like that's inconsiderate. So Tia was a direct communicator, she says, whereas Tamera was passive. She often got her feelings hurt and at times took things to the wrong way, which sometimes felt intentional. All right. Even Tamera's friends made slight digs at Tia in conversation, and Tamera would actually side with them instead of having a conversation with your sister. But then sometimes if you're trying to talk to your sister or your sibling or whatever, if you're, and it's not even really sibling, because I mean, I got a lot of brothers. Like, my brothers, like, we don't really get into it like that. Like, some of these folks, like, we don't really be having this stuff. Like, we just don't. I mean, I think that dynamic happens more when it's like sisters, and I don't have that, so it's just different for me. But I would say people in general, right? What was I going to say? Okay, even Tamera's friends made slight digs at Tia. And then what else did she say? She's not a good communicator. Like, ultimately, you gotta work, you gotta talk to them. You got to figure that out and have a conversation. But it's tough if that person may make you feel like you're dumb, or if that person may make you feel like how you feel does not matter. I think that can end up turning a person that may not have always been passive, or a person that may have been passive and they're trying to come out of that passiveness to go back inward and continue to be passive, if they're trying to communicate to a person that themselves may not be a good communicator, because part of being a good communicator is not just talking but listening. Okay. And you don't have to always agree, but at least understanding where the person is coming from. So I don't think that's all on Tamera, Let's see. So Tamera's husband and friends would talk to her condescendingly often, but she never checked them and didn't. Now, I don't know how she handles Adam now. Okay. I don't know how she handle him now, but I remember then looking like, girl, do you have any voice or at all? I don't know. But anywho, so she goes on to say, yet Tia could breathe and it was front page news. Passive people often recruit others to dislike someone because they're afraid to truly confront that person. That could be it. But then also, passive people may dump onto others how they're feeling because the person they really want to talk to doesn't put them in a position to feel comfortable to share exactly how they feel with them. So it could be either or. She goes on to say these were issues way back in 2011. Things could be very different now, but even back then I noticed how differently they operated and how Tia was vilified for no reason. She had her issues, but I can see how the bottom eventually fell out. This is all fresh in my mind because I just rewatched the whole series on Prime Video. Okay, so I think she hit the nail on the head with a lot of the topics, but the exact reason as to why they are where they are today, none of us really knows. And I don't think that we ever will know. Okay, that really is, like really between them, high key, But if you give us little tidbits and let us know, oh, we're not as close as we used to be, and then we hear in another interview that, oh, I ain't know she was even doing the show. Hell, I found out when y'all found out. That was clear indicator that y'all not close, and y'all don't talk like that a few months ago. Then when you do that, people are gonna speculate. It's gonna leave room for conversation for people to talk about. I mean, because y'all are America's favorite twins, baby. Y'all are the faves. So people trying to figure out what's going on with their faves, like what's really up, right? So I think Tia's new show is going to be interesting. It's going to be pretty good until it isn't. So I'm definitely going to check it out and see what the latest details are with her and what she got going on. And I definitely hope that, I'm sure Tamera could feel a way that Tia said that they're not as close. But then also, I'm sure Tia may have felt the way when Tamera said, girl, I ain't know nothing about her show because she ain't tell me. Okay, so I can't be a part of what she don't let me know about. In addition, she don't even want my advice from me and my husband right now. She doing her. So I'm sure both of them could have felt the way about what each other is saying. But what I also hope is that the conversations that a lot of people are having when it comes to the twins and trying to figure out what's going on and what's not happening between them, I actually hope these situations and these conversations actually bring them back to each other to work on their relationship. I'm hoping that the conversations people are having surrounding them is not going to further divide them, but bring them closer and bring them into conversation. And I'm sure once Tamera sees how emotional Tia gets in this confessional segment where she's talking about not being close to her sister and what she's dealt with and stuff, I'm sure that's gonna like make her feel away. So hopefully we learn soon in the coming weeks that the sisters are pretty close. Let us pray, okay? Now Tia did, I believe there was something, let me see. Because after that came out where, we learned that they weren't as close, she came back, or at least somebody from her team, and tried to say that she and Tamera are still close, is what they were saying. They said Tia and Tamera, let's get over here. What just happened? Let me go back. Okay, there we go. It was given Tia and Tamera are still close, but face a lack of proximity, okay, as they live in LA and Napa Valley. So they live in two different parts. They're miles away, hours away. But my thing is this, at the end of the day, you still can be close with your sibling. You could be close with a best friend that don't even live in the same state as you. Or, or maybe live 2 hours away from you, and you still can talk to them every day and y'all still have a close relationship. So I really feel like there ain't no excuse, but I do understand Tia's team wanting to come out and kind of like soften that so that Tamera doesn't get any flack and it doesn't bring a bigger divide in their relationship than what is already there. So what I do pray for the sisters is that they are able to come back together, have the proper conversations with each other, and move forward. Now, Tia, your first act that you're calling your next act, I would think, is you dating and moving past the divorce of, your divorce. The next act, which is the upcoming act, should you get another, season, would be the dynamics of you and your sister. And you don't have to show it in the way that it was shown on the Tia and Tamera show. You don't have to do that. It still can be primarily centered around you, and maybe your sister can come in for 1 or 2 pieces to show that you guys are in a better place and you've worked that out and all of that, and y'all can move forward. Okay. But I do think that ultimately Tia does want this to be her moment. She often has shared things with her sister, Tia Tamera. They've done a lot of things together, and I know she wants to continue to move forward and like branch out and also be able to stand on her own, and she has been in a sense. But this is her moment. It's more so about her, so I don't fault her for not necessarily wanting her sister to be a part of it because this is her moment. But I would be like, damn, would it be messed up to say, or would it, would it be bad to say that it's messed up if your other siblings are on the show, but she ain't? Okay. So we'll see. It's her show. She can do what she want. And I don't think anything is wrong with her having her own show, her own moment on her terms and how she wants to have it. But I do hope the sisters come back together. And if you want to give us a few episodes of Tamera next season, we ain't gonna be mad at it, girl. Okay. But best of luck to the Mowry sisters. Okay, hopefully things get better for them. But that's all that I got. I just want to come and chit chat with y'all real quick about the sisters and Tia's new show that's coming. Let me know if you guys are going to be tuning in and everything. All right, leave your thoughts and comments down below. I am Jami, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Jami, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
On my city and cul-de-sac, coming out swinging like soldier rag, leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind, knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mile. We finna do more than survive, I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be